Hi friends, Allison here. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm sharing with you a new scrapbooking process video. I just shared you the complete layout at the beginning of the video. This is the layout that I will be creating today. I began with a die cut lantern that I created with my Cricut. It did cut in multiple layers, so I'm just gluing them together. The flame for inside the lantern I actually traced with a pencil after I cut it with my Cricut, because I discovered that I actually ended up putting the lantern together backwards, so the flame wasn't going to fit properly with the pattern paper that I wanted to use. So I cut just the blank portion from white cardstock of the flame, and then I traced it in the right direction onto a different pattern paper and then adhered it to the lantern with foam squares just to pop it up a little bit and make it feel a little more lifelike. The reason I chose a different pattern paper than the cardstock for the flame is because I wanted to pull a little bit more of the peachy sort of coral color into this layout. I used scrap papers from my stash. Some of the paper that I used is from Amy Tangerine Late Afternoon, I do believe. That's where the floral paper comes from, and the coral stripe, I believe. I backed the floral cut file with different pattern papers from my stash. I think the yellow and the flowers may have also came from Amy Tangerine. Don't quote me on that. And then the blue pattern paper, I'm not entirely sure. Maybe it's all from the same collection. I'm not sure. The flame, however, came from a different pattern paper from a completely different collection. And I'm not sure where it came from because I just had a small piece left of it in my stash. So that is all adhered. I adhered the lantern to my layout base with foam squares. Later in the video, you're going to see me tear the whole thing off of the layout base because I forgot that I wanted to add mixed media to the background. That had been my plan right from the very beginning. And when I got into the flow of things, it just totally blew my mind. There it is right now. And I had to go back and take everything off and add the mixed media. I could have used a paintbrush to add the yellow around the lantern after the fact. I thought this would be easier, and a good way to take things off of your layout if you need to, heaven forbid. I used my little spatula that came with my Cricut. If you buy a Cricut brand new, I don't know if they do this anymore, but when I got mine, I got like a starter pack, and it came with my starter pack with my Cricut. If it doesn't, you can easily find them at Michael's or Cricut itself and use that in your crafting. I just used it to lift all the adhesive up off the page with minimal tearing and wreckage, which bonus. So keep that in mind if you ever have to take anything off of your layout and then reapply it later on. I did use my heat tool just to speed up the drying process of the mixed media in the background. I just used a spray pen mini mister that I had in my stash. I already had some saffron ink mixed up in it. There wasn't a lot in there, so I kind of fought with my mini mister to get as much ink onto the paper as there is. But there was just enough, thankfully, and I didn't have to mix up any more. I probably should, though. The title was also adhered just using some liquid glue over top of my lantern. It's Yeah, Nope. And the story behind this layout is my girls overcoming their fear of power outages in our town. It happens regularly. I don't know why. But before they got their electronics, as in iPads and iPhones, it used to freak them out. After they got their iPads and they discovered that, oh, my electronics still work even in a power outage, especially at night, they were totally fine with it. And so I wanted to document that story. Right now, I am adding just the finishing touches to my layout. I decided to take a pencil and my straight edge ruler and add some faux stitching to recreate string, basically, like the lantern is hanging from a hook or something. Actually, in the back of my mind when I was creating this layout, I was thinking of a lantern that I actually do have in my house attached to a welcome sign stand, and it hangs from a little hook. And even though it's not the same color, I had that in the back of my mind when I was creating this. So to recreate the hook, quote unquote, I used a pencil, straight edge ruler, and then just a black pen to create stitching marks on the layout. I had toyed with doing physical hand stitching for a little more texture, but I decided against it. The pen does the same thing, so it was quicker and easier to do it that way. Here's my date. I stamped that in Close to My Heart ink, and for one last finishing touch, I decided to add some clear shimmer brush to that flame. This is from Close to My Heart. I also added some gold sequins from Close to My Heart as well to mimic splatter and sparkle, I guess. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope this layout inspired you. I hope you enjoyed my video, and if you did, give it a thumbs up and a like. And if you're new to my channel, welcome. I'm so glad that you're here. If you enjoy Cricut videos and layouts, be sure you stick around because I will be sharing more of that in the future. Have a fantastic week, friends, and I will be back again soon. Bye, friends.